Are you looking for the best gaming monitors? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best monitors on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM. The best gaming monitor we've tested is the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM. It's a premium 4K, 240Hz monitor with a QD OLED panel. It provides both outstanding picture quality and fantastic gaming performance. Motion looks extremely clear thanks to its near-instantaneous response time, so there's almost no blur behind fast-moving objects. It also supports HDMI and DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of modern graphics cards and consoles. Plus, it has some neat extra features like Dolby Vision support, a USB-C port that supports DisplayPort Alt Mode, and a CUV-M switch. Its QD OLED panel delivers perfect blacks in dark rooms without any haloing around bright objects, and colors are vivid. It also gets bright enough to fight most glare in most well-lit rooms, but keep in mind that in bright rooms, deep blacks appear purple. Lastly, it has a 27-inch screen with high pixel density for sharp image clarity, but if you want a bigger 32-inch screen, you can check out the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32 UCDM instead. It performs very similarly but lacks DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth and has slightly higher input lag. At number 2. ASUS ROG Strix OLED XG27 ACD&G. If you don't need a premium option with a high 4K resolution like the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM, check out the lower-end ASUS ROG Strix OLED XG27 ACD&G instead. The main difference is that it has a lower 1440p resolution, so images aren't as detailed, and text isn't as sharp. That said, it has a higher 360Hz refresh rate that's ideal for competitive gaming, and the lower resolution makes it easier for your graphics card to maintain high frame rates. Besides that, and the fact that it doesn't support Dolby Vision like the PG27 UCDM, it's very similar in terms of features. It also has a CUV-M switch, USB hub, and HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of modern gaming consoles, but it doesn't have DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth. It also performs similarly, with bright and vivid colors to go alongside sharp motion. Plus, it has deep and inky blacks in dark rooms, but like any QD OLED, blacks look purple in bright rooms, so you need to use it in the dark to get the best out of it. At number 3. ASUS ROG Strix OLED XG27 AQD&G. If you prefer saving money and don't need a premium OLED, look into the ASUS ROG Strix OLED XG27 AQD&G. It's another step-down model from the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM and the ASUS ROG Strix OLED XG27 ACD&G, so there are a few notable trade-offs with getting the cheaper monitor. First, it has a lower refresh rate than the XG27 ACD&G, so it doesn't feel as smooth. It also doesn't support HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. It lacks some features the higher-end ASUS monitors have, like a CUV-M switch, but this doesn't impact the gaming performance. It's still a fantastic gaming monitor with the same sharp motion and low input lag as the higher-end monitors. It also has great picture quality with deep blacks in dark rooms and no haloing around bright objects. Plus, blacks don't look purple in bright rooms like on the QD OLED as mentioned above, and it maintains low black levels in bright environments. However, its colors are less vivid than the XG27 ACD&Gs. At number 4. AOC Q27 G3 XMN. As you get into budget monitors, you get fewer features than with high-end models, but some still offer good gaming performance and picture quality. That's the case with the AOC Q27 G3 XMN, one of the few low-cost monitors with mini LED backlighting. Although it doesn't have the same perfect blacks as the ASUS ROG Strix OLED XG27 AQD&G, it still combines its high native contrast with its good local dimming feature, so it displays deep blacks next to bright highlights without much haloing, either. It also gets very bright, so highlights pop against the rest of the image, which helps provide good HDR picture quality. However, there are a few trade-offs versus the ASUS, which is what you can expect from a budget monitor. While it has a fast response time, it has some black smearing, which is one of the downsides of its VA panel. It doesn't have HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of modern gaming consoles, but it's still a great choice for most gamers. You can also look into the ASUS Q27G40XMN if you want something brighter and with a better local dimming system. However, it has worse motion handling. At number 5. MSI G274 QPF-QD. If you're finding the ASUS Q27G3XMN too expensive and are looking for something cheaper, check out the MSI G274 QPF-QD. It has the same 1440p resolution as the ASUS and similar brightness in SDR. It also has a few advantages over the ASUS, as you can connect this monitor to your PC over USB-C, and it doesn't have any smearing with fast-moving objects, though overall, its motion handling is worse. However, the HDR performance of these two monitors differs considerably. The MSI doesn't have a local dimming system, so deep blacks appear gray in a dark room, and it doesn't get bright enough for highlights to pop. Additionally, its HDR colors are less vivid, though it displays a wide range of colors for a cheap display. While its HDR performance is lacking, it's a great low-cost option if you don't plan on using HDR.